Welcome back to another video. Today I am going to talk about the Egyptian walking onion. So for a long time, the walking onion fascinated me. It's also generally seen as a popular crop in the permacultural community. I was intrigued about its perennial nature and its ability to reseed itself easily and multiply over time. It can be used as a pest defender. You can interplant it with different varieties of young trees and saplings, or other plants you may want to protect from certain animals or insects that may want to eat those plants. So eventually I got around to ordering some of these seeds, and they arrived in the mail. Opened up the package, and they're really beautiful purple red color, and so apparently you're supposed to plant them right away in the fall. So that's essentially the process that I want to continue to talk about in this video, is how I went about planting and preparing the soil for these onions to hopefully eventually proliferate. So the day after the seeds arrived, I went out to a section in the garden and found an area that was in the back corner, and it was early fall, so I just kind of cleared away some of the thinning and dying back foliage. I then added in some supplemental soil and compost mixture that I got from another part of the property, and I eventually smoothed it out really nice with a rake to make it as even as possible. I then made some holes in the dirt with my hand. Unfortunately, it's kind of dark in this shot, but I planted the Egyptian onions about 3 to 4 to 5 inches apart. It wasn't anything exact, but I don't think it really has to be. So the next morning I went back out to that area in the garden, and I sprinkled some wood ash on top of the recent planting. Wood ash is high in potassium, and I hear that a lot of alliums and onions in general tend to like that extra potassium boost. Of course, you don't want to over-apply it, and you probably would want to make sure that you have good active biology in the soil so that it can break down and metabolize that potassium more easily and make it more readily available to the plants which they are feeding. Then I just watered that patch of land with some rainwater that I collect in some rain barrels. And eventually, around the time that it started to lightly freeze outside, I added in some grass clippings, just a light application on top to hopefully give a little bit of cushion and airspace during the cold winter. Alright, so that's about it for this video. I hope to do an additional video in the future when these plants are beginning to sprout, grow, and produce food and seed, and there will be plenty to talk about at that time. But for right now, this crop is fairly new to me, so I don't have too much more to say on it at this time. I'm really excited, and I hope that they will survive the winter, hopefully. I'm really excited to try this out as a food. So apparently, according to what I've read, the entire plant is edible. The scapes, the baby onion sets that they produce on the tops of the plants, bulbs are totally edible as well, although they may have a more stronger, more pungent flavor than what some of us might be used to when eating onions. But onions in and of themselves do have a strong and pungent flavor, so it will be interesting to see how much more intense that flavor may be. Alright, so that'll do it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something new, and I'll see you in the next video.